That's it.
Oh,
Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks,
Are we
Jeff.
live yet?
I think we're live. We should
Oh,
be
right.
live.
I will.
Rude.
I will
Oh, yeah, we're
not
back.
say what I was going to say then.
Right, I want hanger 1.
Which,
Hello.
of course, was only going to be supportive
Ooh.
and positive things about Twitch and how
would
they're very
say,
good and consistent about their rules and
Twitch
enforcing
is
them.
Twitch is shit. And I think companies that are like, oh, you can't call out our company for not being good or we're going to ban you, are shit, because guess what? We just want it to be better. And if you're not going to let us tell you that you're shit, then there's no reason for you to get better. So Twitch, you're shit. Get better.
Well, it's. I mean, it's a good thing. There are so many competitors in the market that are forcing everyone to be competitive and actually do things to make you self-appeal rather than just treat their users like complete shit that bring in 100% of their revenue and then only give a small of that back to the people that gave you money. It's a good thing that's not the case, isn't it?
Okay, I have made it into the Pisces. I like they start you off with the Pisces. That's cool.
I really like that too. Pisces is a cool ship.
Okay. Press R. R. Okay. Left Alt N. That
Do you know what a
disappeared
pirate's
really quickly.
favorite letter of the alphabet is?
R.
Q.
You'd think it would be the R, but it's actually the C.
Wow.
Oh my! Oh God! I don't. Okay, good. So it changed through like the how to fly things very quickly, without really giving me a chance to read what it was telling me to do. So that's an issue. Follow the checkpoints out of area 18. Okay, I can follow checkpoints. Also, my HOTAS isn't, or my joystick isn't working, so I'm doing this keyboard and mouse.
Back to the old style.
So here's another thing. They have spent so much like time and effort on making the city look pretty. I know they're trying to get us out of the city, but I think it should actually drive you through the city a little bit before telling you to get out.
Right now, they're probably just trying to get you the hell away from it.
Yeah.
Oh man, that does look great though. Jeez. That's one thing that really struck me in that commercial. I mean, I know they have amazing cinematographers and everything for those videos, but the Lynx commercial is just beautiful.
Cruise control. Okay. Yeah, that's nice. Good.
Nice.
Oh, why
Well,
is it...
David.
Yeah.
You're almost there.
Almost where?
I don't know.
It's weird that it's like having me turn rather than like just get out ASAP.
Taking you somewhere, man.
Yeah,
It's going to show you the world. Shining, shimmering, splendid.
Good song.
It is.
Thank you, Eric.
You're welcome. Oh man,
That does make sense, Tip. Does make sense.
It is worth noting.
I am actually like I'm gonna be contrarian here.
No,
David's
contrarian.
never been contrarian. Jeez.
Wow, this is a unique experience. Please let us enjoy this fully and completely immerse ourselves in the contrarian experience that we've in all the years of knowing you never known to be contrary whatsoever.
Oh god.
Allow me, please, to enjoy being sarcastic for once. I never do it.
What's up, David?
So I actually think it's a good thing to increase the shift timers significantly. I think
You
there's
will,
probably
you will despise it when you're playing. You'll complain about it the whole time.
I think there's a balance to be had, and I think they need to protect things from 30Ks, and I think it needs to depend entirely on the size of ships. But like, no, I think there needs to be a downside to losing your 890 or your whatever it is that
Absolutely.
you lost.
They're probably the reason people are complaining is that most of the time they lose their ship to a bug.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate. But clearly that's intentional.
This might be
look,
be me being weird, but have they said why they increased the timers?
Testing. They've got a
no. I would like to know if someone said, have they said why? Someone can say yes. This post here says exactly why, even if everyone disagrees with the reason. Is there something everyone can reference it? Because at least that way, my opinion would be, all right, it's fucking shit, but at least I can say this is why they're doing it, and they're going to be looking at it in the future and change it. At least you'd have that. But if they haven't done that,
yes, they've done that repeatedly.
Kind of have to accept it.
They've talked about it repeatedly. They are going to change it. They're going to reverse what they did. It'll be changed in the next patch.
And Tip says Silo made a post about it. Now, were these posts after the fact?
They did. No, they did post about it. But I read about it before the patch went out.
Okay.
That they were increasing them.
In that case, I hate to say it, I'm going to say CRG on that one. They did everything they possibly can. It was out there.
Oh, people aren't angry because they didn't communicate it. People are upset because they can't play the game. Like they go and try to play, and it's 40 minutes to get your ship, and then you get your ship, and then you 30K, and then it's another 40 minutes to get your ship.
It's that long. I didn't realize that. I retract my statement.
So
I'm not sure,
now. I'm not sure if you heard what I said to David earlier, but the expedited time for the Carrack is 31 minutes or something.
I'm okay with that.
You have to pay 40,000 UEC to get it in 31 minutes instead of an hour and 37 minutes, which is the normal time.
I am okay with that.
Okay.
You
are 100% going to complain about that the next time we go into the game. You complained about it before.
My game isn't working. No, hang on. I don't want, there needs to be a, okay, I'm gonna give up on this for right now because
fine, that's fine.
I'm getting 5 FPS and it's killing me. I apologize. My machine has been running a little bit strange since I put it off the wall. It's making a lot more noise than it used to. Like the fans are struggling a lot harder. So I need to figure out what's going on.
Look at the air circulation there. Yep.
Yeah, I mean it should be it's a mesh case. The circulation should be great. So I don't know. Anyway, I got to look into it. How many people should be working a Carrack? 4?
A long-term 5, I think.
5
is like the ideal crew. You could probably do it like 3.
I think that half hour might be a little excessive, but I think 20 minutes downtime for a 5-person crew ship
on release, maybe.
That's not my argument. My argument is they did it now.
No, and hang on, because I actually think that they should do it now. Because they do need to figure out the balance. Right? Beta is for balance.
The balance is meaningless. This isn't beta. It's alpha.
Alpha, whatever. The only thing that I think that they'd be a lot better served if that timer was waived for 30Ks for server crashes.
If as
What?
long as they can figure out a way to actually do it.
Mhm.
But
I don't think they should implement this until they can do that. But if they can find a way to waive any respawn timer if your server crashed, then I think they should implement timers. And I think the timers should be, I'm thinking, like, I think it should be like 3 to 5 minutes for a small single seat ship. And I think it should be 3 to 5 minutes per person that is in your ship, essentially. If you've got a 6-person ship, it should be a half hour.
I'm not arguing about what the claim timer should be. I'm arguing that they did it now.
Yes,
and I do agree with
I
agree with the players right now, because they basically made the game a lot harder for them to play right now.
How are you helping test this game in those 40 minutes you just sat there twiddling your thumbs?
Exactly.
No, and it's not. They shouldn't have it if the game is going to crash all the time, and they won't acknowledge that. But tip, yes.
New difficulty level, meta.
But they've done that. Yeah. I don't know.
They're going to start including meta difficulty level into more games going forward. If you buy, say, the next Call of Duty game and you play on meta level, one of the devs will in fact break into your house, stand next to you as you play, and just go push you every so often and make it really difficult. Run off with your mouse, flip you off. Difficult for you now, fucker.
I like it.
Yeah, this is only tier 0 implementation. More will be added.
That would be that's the tier. That's like top tier immersion right there. Oh man.
I want to check something really quickly, but I can't remember what it's called. Eric, what is that app that you got me to download to check CPU temps and things?
Oh, hardware info. It's HW info.
Right.
It's pretty much the one that everybody uses these days.
I can never remember what it's called.
What brand of you've got an Asus? English is really fucking hard. You've got an Asus motherboard, haven't you?
Asus, yeah.
So you could install Asus fan suite service and all that sort of thing that not only monitors the temperature, but also you can change the fan speeds and things. I love it because I'm stupid and still use a passive cooler, so I have to use it.
So my CPU right now is at 51.
Oh, that's pretty good.
That's
Just coming out of Star Citizen a few minutes ago. That's not bad. And you're streaming. Yeah, no, that's
I'm streaming.
Good.
Yeah.
No, that's really good.
So GPU's at 50.
That's good too.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to look into it more. Anyway.
Make sure you're running that while you should try and do a quick stream and run Star Citizen and then watch and see what happens. Hardware info provides a lot of information.
Yeah, too much almost, but.
Oh yeah, you have to look at it for a bit to understand what you're looking at for sure.
There's this thing that CIG have done, and we don't have access to a lot of the metrics that they have. They have more knowledge of what's going on in the game than we do. But there are certain things that they do that I've always wondered about, such as a free fly the first weekend of a new patch.
I don't honestly, this might be me being cynical, but part of me just thinks that is production and operations not talking to the salespeople, or the salespeople not listening.
It might be, but it has to stop.
I agree. I don't think they should do a free fly. They should do free flies at the end of a patch cycle, not the beginning.
Yep.
To expand on Eric's answer, it's basically that, but it's the old school thought of we just put a patch out. Now we're at the height of popularity. This is when people want to check it out the most, and that's a very old school way of thought. It doesn't
Also,
work like
our
that
game is the
anymore.
most broken right now. Great.
If this was a fully released game and in a state of good polish, and they're just like, we've just launched update
Yes.
whatever for our
Yeah.
Star Citizen, come try it for a week. Make perfect sense. EVE Online does it. World of Warcraft probably does it. But they're released games.
Yeah. They really need to stop doing free flies right at the beginning of patches or right after like it's don't do a free fly when people can't play the game.
Yep. Agreed.
And I know that they want to get more people in the game to test it.
And maybe
honestly,
that's
I think
that could be the entire motivation, is just to crash the shit out of the game.
But I think there's other ways to do that.
I think
like,
so too.
Reward like have
I'm not saying it's a good idea. I'm just thinking that might be what their idea is. Like their
no, and that's the only thing that's made any sense to me of maybe that's what they're doing. But if that's what they're doing, like, don't be like give AUEC to current players that test in the first week, or like give people a chance to earn points towards a free ship or something. Like find another way to reward current players to get them into the game. Don't try and run a free fly, because free flies should be entirely designed to bring new people in.
Yeah, and to give them a good experience, because you're hoping that they buy the game.
Mm-hmm.
If you do a free fly and the game is broken,
do a not a free fly, but a current players can access any ship for a week.
totally.
Fly any ship you want,
like they often do with the PTU.
Yeah, like sure, do that, but like, if the game is in the position where I would tell someone that's like, hey, should I check out Star Citizen? No, absolutely do not right now. Do not check it out right now. And don't do free fly.
Free fly? Yeah, no shit. I agree. 100%. It doesn't make any sense to me. Maybe they know more than we do, but from the outside, it really doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
By the way, it's worth noting. I was looking at this before. You know that number I told you before, David?
Yeah, has it gone up?
Yeah, it's out of date. They have now made $11.3 million during Invictus so far.
Pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yep.
Good.
By the way, that's up $1.3 million from when I told David earlier today.
Yeah.
What it was.
They're gonna make a lot of money this year.
Yep.
And so one thing I'll say is, and Tip, you're right, they've made less money so far this year than last year. But
it's gonna be close. They're not far off.
They're not far off. And I have thoughts that, CitizenCon and later this year are going to be extremely good.
They made almost no money in October last year. This year they have CitizenCon in October.
Yeah. CitizenCon is going to...
That's probably good for $10 million right there.
Yeah. I know I predicted it last year and fell just short, but I believe that this is the year of 150 million in a year.
Well, you were way short though.
Was I way short?
It's 116 last year.
I mean, that's only 20 away.
34 million away, which is an entire year of the first 5 years and 6 years of funding.
The thing is, every year we move on, we're closing the amount of people, of potential customers.
Yeah.
There are only going to ever be so many people who will be willing to fork over money at this point of the development on a risk it is still a risk. There's nothing out
I
there
did-
that says this game is
Shiver?
guaranteed to release.
I would agree with you if the numbers said that, but the numbers don't say that. They just it just goes up and up and up and up and up and up and up. People were telling me that 7 or 8 years ago that they were going to run out of people
True.
to back the game. They make like almost 4 times as much per year now than they did.
True, but how many of those are actually new into the project?
Speaking from personal experience, I have a close personal friend that bought in when I bought in, October whatever 2012, and completely lost all interest for however many years, and in the last year is all in and is sending me messages like, should I buy a Perseus or Polaris next? Like, what am I buying? What ship should I get? Who can I get to fly the ship with me? Like he's gone all in because he started I think he started playing in like 316, 317 when it was like really playable, and was like, shit, this game is great. This is everything I want in a video game, and it's only going to get better. I'm in. Right? Yeah. And I think CIG have really lost that the last 2 patches. Like 318 was bad.
Yeah, and they've talked about this. Like they got like persistent entity streaming really threw a wrench in things, and that's what the problems are. It's not that they don't want to make a good game anymore, or they're trying to be assholes. The game had to. The technology behind the game changed, and they're still adapting to that and trying to fix all the problems.
Yeah.
They had to make that change. We know they had to make that change, but it's taken some time.
I think one thing to remember is like this 319 is rough. It's not nearly as rough as 318 was. 318 was really rough.
It's
320
better than 318.
320 is going to be better. They're going to get back to that like 315 to 317 point where the game is smooth as butter, and that's when they need to be running free flies, because that's when people are going to say, holy crap, you mean I crash this ship on a planet and then I can wait a week and I can go and find the shipwreck of my like, fuck.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be awesome. Persistent enemy
and
streaming.
If you spawn back fast enough,
persistent enemy
you'll actually
streaming.
be able to see your soul streaming through the torrent of space.
He did it
behind you, and you'll just be like, "All right, dead mate."
Oh, that's hilarious! I love it. I love the callback. So
never forget.
Never.
That's the thing. Like, persistent entity streaming will be awesome. The idea behind it is amazing. It's going to be great for players. This is a systems-based thing. It is something like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom have.
Yeah.
It is a systems-based thing that people can play with, and it creates gameplay. But they had to touch every piece of the game to get it in there, and it broke a lot of things. They're trying to fix it all again.
I really... like, we've been watching this project, the three of us, for longer than is probably
since we were zygotes.
Different people.
I like better.
But for longer than is probably healthy for our sanity.
You have sanity left?
No, that's the point. I'd like your thoughts on this, and I'm gonna give my thoughts and in chat as well. But I personally really feel like last year was really, really good. This year, persistent entity streaming is throwing a bit of wrench in things. But I feel like once we get out of this PS like whirlpool and get I think next year
Tip.
Yeah. I genuinely think that next year has the potential to be the year where it's like, yes, you should play Star Citizen.
Unless I the big question mark here is if they decide to follow them getting it completely stable with server meshing, the big question is, does server meshing make it better or worse?
Yes.
Do the improvements that come with having multiple servers run things make it better, or does the fact that you have to transition between servers make things totally broken?
Well, I'm
That's
hoping
the
we get
question.
I'm hoping we get server meshing. I'm always going to try and be positive. I'm still hoping there's a chance we get server meshing like late this year, and then it's fixed by mid next year, and the second half of next year is like
The golden age of Star Citizen.
golden age of Star Citizen.
For
Yeah,
alpha backers.
yeah. That's my dream. You know.
It's gonna be interesting to see what they say at CitizenCon about that. I'm hoping they have like a really good demo of Star Citizen with server meshing running.
Yeah.
It would be really cool to see the whole thing like functioning at once. Like maybe they can even have like a separate screen that shows like
I want
Quantum.
I want Quantum
No, that's what I
shown
mean.
again.
I want them to have like a screen that's showing Quantum at the same time Star Citizen is running, like and people are playing.
They need a Tony Zurvek talk this year.
Oh, they totally do. Yeah, Tony's amazing. Probably busy as hell, but
what do you think?
Yeah, I completely agree. Basically, it's just I'm at the point now where it's like, come out, might not come out. If it doesn't come out, I don't really lose anything. And hopefully you are all like that yourselves, because you should not be putting yourselves in debt or anything like that for a game. But whatever comes out, comes out. What if there's a hiccup in the meantime? There's a hiccup in the meantime.
Yep.
Sucks.
It does. Don't get me wrong. It sucks for everyone that wants to play and test it thoroughly every day. Very sorry for you, but it'll pass. I'm trying to get a friend of mine into the game as well. He's tempted. He's on the fence, and he's like, play it if you play with me. And we're like, okay. But at the moment, with like this patch,
no.
Yeah, that's not going to work out very well.
Yep.
But then who knows? The next patch that comes out,
yeah,
absolutely could be perfect.
3.19.1 could be amazing. It just
yeah.
And they managed to find it last time. Like the 3.17 patches were amazing. They played great.
Yeah.
We played a lot of Star Citizen last year.
Yeah.
Because it was really good, and they'll get back there. They're just having a bit of a speed wobble at the moment.
I mean, it's not like they're doing something literally unheard of in video games ever.
As they said on Star Citizen Live, I think it was Star Citizen Live, but they're like, you're just sort of seeing it happen, and this happens with all games, and you're just seeing it happen with our game in real time. When you're developing games, they break all the time in big ways, and then you have to fix them again. That's the whole bug fixing thing, right?
Well, then that's
99 bugs in the code. You fix one. Now there's 126 bugs in the code. Like,
but that's the reason that I've been doing this so long, and like it's been lovely to watch.
Oh, it's been amazing to watch. It's been truly a pleasure to spend this time watching the freaking sausage get made. And not like this is not your everyday video game. This is like, what if we made the most ambitious project ever?
Yeah.
in gaming.
Yeah.
And you know what?
And also we're gonna make a narrative story driven game on the side.
And I hate to do this right now because we're like 5 minutes away from the end of this, but I'm just gonna throw out a prediction.
Oh, he's prediction. Okay,
I'm predictioning. Well, no. This is more of a weird prediction, but like the last, I want to say year, the advances in, and I know it's not true AI, but the advances in like ChatGPT and Midjourney and AI functionality in the last year has been exponential, and you can see the amount. No, I'm thinking, and it's not going to happen right away, but I feel like in the next 5 to 10 years, there's going to be a legitimate effort to make video games via AI. Model? Yeah.
Oh, via AI. Oh, you're using
via AI.
There's already certainly using it to check code.
That's what. See, that's the thing. Is like AI at this point, even though it does all this crazy shit, it really what it's going to be useful for, what people will actually use it for, is a tool. And one of the things it can do very well is check things like code.
Yep.
It can scan through 40 pages of code in like a minute and be like, "Yeah, you fucked up right here. You missed a comma."
Yeah.
You know, like,
it can be used as a tool for that. I don't like it being used as a tool for it, but it can be used as a very powerful tool for concept art. Like,
oh yeah.
I mean,
the problem with AI art is that you need a lot of it's one of those things, people get scared of it, but you need to be good. Like, you actually have to understand how it works, and how to talk to it. Because I've tried to make some, and you get more shit than you get good stuff out of it. Like,
but it's also getting better exponentially.
Oh yeah.
I did have someone try to talk at me the other day and say that he thinks that the current AI is true AI because it passes some of the tests, the Turing tests, and I'm like,
no,
they're easily fake though. That's one step on the thing. It's got to also prove self-awareness and consciousness, creativity, and it doesn't. It can't.
Current AI is not.
And his response,
AI.
His argument was, "Well, how do you know?" Well, all right. How do you know you're fucking?
Current AI is incredibly impressive, but it is basically a language calculator. Like ChatGPT is a calculator for words. It's just adding the prompts that you get and searching its model for what would be a good, like, what does this grab?
Hollywood has put the term AI and artificial intelligence into a completely different light in the eyes of average people out on the street compared to what AI actually is.
It is not artificial intelligence currently, it's machine learning.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're not at actual AI, it's machine learning. It's incredibly impressive, but yeah. But I do seriously, like, it has taken so long for Star Citizen to get where it is, and there is a part of me that wonders if, think about where AI was a year ago, not talked about at all, where it is now. Give that 10 years.
Oh yeah, it's gonna.
Are we gonna get, like, is Star Citizen gonna get eclipsed in 10 years because there's going to be a game that comes out completely created by AI that can do...
No.
I don't know.
I find it an interesting question, although I do think the answer is no. I would still be interested to see what the results were.
I think they're going to be actually getting a working thing out of AI that really works the way that you need it to.
I think it won't be entirely AI done. I think you need people to direct it, but I think in 10 years, within the next 10 years, like, I have already seen on, like, Steam really bad looking, like, this was entirely generated by AI.
Garbage. Yeah, it is garbage.
But that's how it starts.
I've seen games, actually played games that had all AI art.
Yep.
But we're right back to the uncanny valley problem. It looks wrong. But like, your brain twigs.
For now,
it bothers my brain.
For now, What happens when we get an AI that can generate 3D models?
At the beginning, it'll be really bad at it, and then it'll
get better.
I just think for a long time it's going to be useful, but it will be a tool. It will be a thing that people can use as part of their work process that makes them better at it without completely replacing them. If you
I have a question. I have a quick question for you both. Are you okay to go a little bit longer?
Yeah, fine.
Can I have a wee?
Yeah, go quick.
Oh, thank God!
I'm gone for 2.
He's acting like he didn't realize he could have got it any moment.
Anytime. So I have a follow-up question that because we're talking about AI here, I have a follow-up question that I want to ask. I have seen some people talking about using AI to generate responses for characters in video games. Like slightly more realistic chat responses than default. Yeah. Do you think that Star Citizen could use something like that, like an AI model that will have you, when you hail the ATC? Totally. Yeah, you think that's
absolutely? I think that's possible. That's where I could actually see some like Star Citizen actually using AI, like this type of what we're what I mean. This discussion, a large language model. That's a better way to put it.
Mm-hmm.
I could see them going to OpenAI and being like, "Hey, can we make a plugin for our game that basically plugs in ChatGPT 4 into it?" I could see it. The problem is you got to pay for it. You can't make it yourself. So it's all about whether or not it actually makes any sense financially.
It would actually, Shiver, I'm going to ask you the same question as well in a second, but I think it would actually make a great case financially if, like, for a large game that's like the first to do it officially, like you'd probably get a really cheap return on investment of like, we're marketing that this is possible. So Shiver, the question here was, do you see like a use case maybe for something like for Star Citizen to use something like a large language model like ChatGPT to provide responses, for example, from ATC? Like you contact ATC and the response is provided to you from a large language model like ChatGPT.
I like it. That's brilliant. That's really good. That's a really good use of it.
I agree.
Yes.
I do think, and this is a perfect example, because one of the things that the piece of news that came out about 6 or 7 months, looks like it was about 8 months ago, was that Starfield has over 250,000 lines of dialogue in it.
Yeah.
Which is more than double what Fallout 4 had, and more than 4 times what Skyrim had.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of that is probably NPC dialogue. A lot of it.
Yeah.
If you can take 200,000 of that lines and just plug in a large language model that understands what the environment is, so it actually knows what it's talking about and can give you more or less realistic responses to your questions, and you can actually talk to it in the game, that would be a way better use of resources, I think, than writing tens of thousands of lines of NPC dialogue.
And you can do it in a more efficient, not a more efficient way, but like a more meticulous way as well, where you can have the AI generate all this, the language model generate these responses, and then you have someone review them and say, yeah, we're going to take these 12 for this character. We're going to take these for this character. We're going to take this for this, right? So it's all verified by a person, and they've only got these responses to go with, but they're generated by an AI.
That would be more of an example of using it as a tool rather than actually integrating it fully into the game. But that is a good example too, where you could be like, no, for this game we need 1 million lines of dialogue, and okay, how do we make it faster? Well, we can have ChatGPT come up with all this stuff, and we can just go, yes, that one, yes, that one, yes, that one, yes, that one, yes, that one.
I mean, in a single player game, you have even more freedom with what you can do with this with the ChatGPT tech underlying it. It becomes far more personal. You know how in Fallout 4 it asked you your character's name?
Yeah.
They're not going to have name fucking Shiva, Nakara, Eris on there as a choice. Of course they're fucking David and Sam and Francis and Zoe and
Beelzebub.
I was going for Left 4 Dead 2 survivors, but yeah. But with a single player game, all it needs you to do is just, what is your name? Shiva. There you go. Done. Just that one input across the whole game. You are now Shiva, and you could put in there any combination, and you are going to be recognized. It's going to give you a far more personalized experience, and it's a little thing, but it's just an extra little thing that just brings you into a game.
And there's a whole bunch of little things that can be added together here, and you're right on the right track, Shiver. But if you take that for the dialogue itself, and then and I want to make a really important point here. There's a lot of talk, especially right now. There's what is the Writers Guild are on strike.
Yeah.
And a large part of the reason they're striking is to make sure that AI cannot be used to write scripts. That people have to be involved, and I want to make the point here
this fucking right AI. Here's the fucking good use for it. Put it in fucking drones for menial shitty labor tasks that humans get paid shit money for to do shit jobs for, then give humans a fucking living wage so we don't have to do these shit jobs. Then we can actually make the AI fucking work for us. But of course they're not going to do that because we've got it kept under the thumb and controlled somehow. But that's the perfect use case for what we could do with AI right fucking now to make everyone's lives better is actually not do shit work.
Universal basic income is the way of the future. It is what we should be doing. Anyway, what I wanted to say is I really think that writers and actors need to be paid, and they need to be paid for any use of their voice. But I was thinking it would be a really interesting use case for someone, because there's already talk about using there's a lot of warnings to voice actors right now about really watching the contracts that they sign, because there are some companies trying to slip in wording into the contracts saying that their voice can be used to train AI models to basically do away with having to pay voice actors. Now, instead, if you paid the voice actor to use their voice as part of an AI model, it would actually be really interesting, Shiver, to do exactly what you were saying. Let someone phonetically spell out their name, right, with the proper accents and everything, and then use the AI models that are trained on actual voice actors' voices to make it so that your name is properly pronounced every time it is spoken by any of these like the possibilities are honestly kind of staggering.
Yeah.
We need computers that we can command with voice and respond to us with voice, and all of these computers need to talk in Majel Barrett's voice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
If honestly, I will be extremely upset if we don't have like an AI assistant within the next 5 years that sounds exactly like her.
They actually got before she passed. They actually did get her in a studio and recorded everything they could of her, all the phonetics and everything. I don't think they've ever fucking used it though.
Who is that?
Majel Barrett is the wife of Gene Roddenberry, the creator of Star Trek. She was number one in The Cage, The Menagerie. She was Waxana Troy in The Next Generation. She was also the computer voice in practically every Star Trek until Discovery.
Yeah, she's been the computer voice
Nurse Chapel.
Yeah. She's been the computer. Yeah, she was in the original Star Trek. She was in TNG as Waxana Troy. She's been the computer voice for all Star Treks up until Discovery. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be a good use for it.
No,
Okay.
she's a legend in Star Trek.
Yes.
Anyway, I'm going to stop us here. We've sort of
Oh
peered out on the.
man, only 10 minutes over, man. Come on.
I thought that
let's
look,
get it
we
up.
were having a good AI discussion, and I wanted to continue it.
Yeah,
And
yeah, totally.
but yeah, Shiver, what do you got going on this week and next week?
Next week?
Well, or no, that's this week, isn't it? Yeah, that's this week. That counts as this week. Go.
Okay, this week is going to be a nightmare for me. Let me go and have a look because it's a fucking list. This week we have our regular VTM game on Friday at 11:30 UTC over on twitch.tv/table-horrors. In addition to that, this week, a little bit behind the scenes, I can tell you all because you can, none of you come and watch, and I've got to just tell someone. Tomorrow we're recording an episode of a podcast which we haven't put out yet. I'm recording shitloads of podcasts, and I'm going to start putting them out, and we can start catching up one week by week. Tomorrow we have Ms. Hart's. Wednesday, in your time, we're recording a podcast with Fenice Starlight and, sorry everyone, Eris. Hopefully I'll be able to get someone else as well on that. And we're going to talk about one-shots and various other things.
Nakara is waving.
Experiences.
I'm
Yeah,
just
well,
waiting.
Nakara, I intend to
I'm
get
just
you
waiting.
on another one with Stormy because we want to talk about Star Trek Adventures with you because, you're regular. I also have planning. I have a Wraith Session 0 because we're doing Wraith at some point this year. And then at the end of the week, I've got another podcast recording with Tina, if you remember.
Nice.
Rusty Shackelford, I think he used to call himself, who, you love him or you hate him. I love him. He makes it hard. He knows he makes it hard, but he's so nice. He really is a good, loyal friend. And he is the one who basically got me into TTRPGs. So you're damn right I'm going to have him on a podcast and say, all right, explain how you got us all addicted to this, you motherfucker. Thank you.
You bastard. Why
All
did you
that
do
is
this to
week,
me?
and you're only going to see one. But we shit coming so much. And I've got to tell someone. We are in very early planning stages of doing Warhammer 40,000 plays on the channel.
Awesome.
We're going to see if we can use Tabletop Simulator. We will still, of course, be buying rules when and where we can, but Tabletop Simulator seems like a great little compromise to be able to stream it, not break our banks, and be able to actually have a game with people who are in different parts of the world. We'll see. I have discovered Warhammer 40k again.
It's fun.
It's been 30 years since I last got into it.
Whoa. Apparently PlayStation's making a handheld?
Yes.
Okay.
It's not really a handheld. It just streams from your PS5.
Handheld? Oh, it's a fake handheld. Okay.
It's a fake handheld. It streams from your PS5. I have to say, I love Warhammer.
What would that be? Can it stream? Oh, can it stream when you're not at home?
I don't know. That's unclear. I love Warhammer. I genuinely think that Total War Warhammer 3, 1, 2, and 3 is one of the best video games ever made in the history of video games. It's a trilogy of games. Like, it's Warhammer Total War Warhammer 1, Total War Warhammer 2, Total War Warhammer 3. At this point, there's like $1,000 of content there. But the world that they've built now over 1, 2, and 3 is it's the entirety of the old, like the Warhammer universe, not 40k, but Warhammer, the Empire. Is that Sigmar? Yeah, Age of Sigmar, I think. But yeah, it's like Skaven and High Elves and Wood Elves and like the Chaos and it is such a good game.
Yeah,
it's honestly phenomenal. Really highly recommended. I think it's actually is it on Game Pass?
Yes. The third one is.
It might be on sale at the moment because it is
Skulls.
various reasons, next month is release of 10th edition 40k tabletop.
Yeah,
and the start of next. What are we in? Is it June 1st now? They are releasing a beta of Rogue Trader, which is a CRPG.
yes, yeah.
Which,
it is on sale right now on Steam. It's because it's Skulls Week. Every year there is Skulls Week, which is the Warhammer week. So Total War Warhammer is 75% off, 2 is 66% off, and 3 is question mark off. But they're all on sale, and if you like strategy games, Total War, like empire management, and also like unit management, I think it's the best strategy game ever made. Genuinely. Try it on Game Pass.
Only reason I've not checked it out, Sigmar. Not a big fantasy guy.
It's really good.
I'm sure. I am sure. It's just, I'm sure I'd have a great time playing it, but I'd just be sat there every 10 minutes. God, I wish I had bolt guns. Where are my las cannons?
You don't have bolt guns, las cannons, but you've got blunderbusses and rifles and like the Skaven. You might like
Give
Skaven.
me a fucking chain sword or a chain fist any day. For the Emperor's might.
Skaven have rattling guns. They have rattling guns. They're Gatling guns held by rats.
I fucking love that. Don't get me wrong. I love the idea of it. It's just I'm not a high fantasy guy.
That's fair. Anyway, thank you to everyone who watched us this week. Sorry for going a bit over, but we love you all. And